and he served as a member of the first development staff of UCA in 1980. He was appointed to the UCA Board of Trustees in 2000 and served as chairman in 2003. He resigned the board to become vice president of advancement in 2004 and served in that capacity until 2008. At that time, he became executive vice president of the Independent Insurance Agents of North Carolina, a professional trade association of 1,200 insurance agencies in that state. Then in July of 2014, President Tom Courtway named Erstein Chief of Staff at UCA. He and his wife Leslie, who is also a UCA alum, have been married for 34 years. They have 2 daughters, Ashley of El Paso, Texas, and Madison, a senior at the University of Arkansas. They're also proud grandparents of granddaughter Maddox, also of El Paso. Please join me in welcoming Kelly Erstein. Okay.
Thank you, Joan. This is really scary for me because too many people in this room know too much about me. David Hensey, I'm not going to get any respect today. Actually, Brad Teague and some of the people in my office have heard this story and talking about no respect. This actually happened a couple of months ago. My wife and I were with another couple, and we kind of late at night had a hunger, or I guess there are other words for catfish, okay? And so where can we go get some catfish in Conway for 4 people at 8:45 in the evening? And so I'm kind of narrowing the options there on the bread. But anyway, we got to the restaurant, ordered the catfish, and the waitress came up and she said, who in this group works at UCA? And I said, well, I do. And I said, well, how did you know that? She said, well, you drive that white pickup out there and you've got that faculty staff parking permit. And so I knew one of you worked at UCA. I said, okay. And she said, well, what do you do out there? This is a true story. What do you do out there? Well, I'm chief of staff. Chief of staff. She thought about it a little bit. She said, this is the waitress. She said, I used to have one of those little jobs. And she said, it takes those little jobs to make the big ones work. Now that's a life lesson, and when I get kind of puffed up about things, Richie, I kind of go back to that time at the fish house when I was really put into my place. So anyway, I'll never forget that. Well, let's get started because I'm going to run pretty quickly, folks, but it's a pleasure to be here. I see so many friends here today, neighbors, UCA. If you're employed at UCA or retired from UCA, Mary Kay, would you please stand? Anyone that has association employment-wise from UCA. Wow. Students? Yeah, most important folks. All right, this is real easy, okay, because we're going to talk about something that I'm really not involved with, quite honestly, at UCA. So I'm going to just kind of give you that disclaimer right now. But if you were a member of a Greek organization at UCA or any other institution of higher learning, would you please stand? Wow. Okay. So hopefully you're going to understand a little bit about what I'm talking about today, because I'm talking about UCA celebrating our 100th anniversary as far as Greek organizations go. And quite honestly, I think one of the reasons why I'm up here today, Joan, is because my fraternity, Sigma Tau Gamma, started in 1915 at UCA as being the first fraternity on campus. And so I've really got a great documentary video that we're going to show thanks to Christina and her staff. And I'm sorry, Rodney, I knew that you probably came because you thought Christina was going to talk today. But that's not the case, all right? But that's what we're going to talk about today. And I've got one of my own fraternity brothers here, my pledge brother, Steve Jessen, with us. So he's seen some of this as some of the other SIG talks, but I think it really reflects back on the history of Greek organizations, even though it talks about Sigma Tau Gamma. So Greek 100, this is going to be a website that you'll be seeing, because between now and 2016, we'll be featuring every day members of Greek life at UCA, alumni all across the United States and the world, to be quite honest with you. So it's going to be a wonderful thing you'll see being tweeted out, being posted on Facebook, but we are making a celebration out of this 100th anniversary. So again, real quickly, this kind of tells you where we are right now at UCA, 23 different Greek organizations and a total of a little over 1,300 students, and that's a pretty good increase from where we were last year. The next slide really kind of breaks it down just a little bit. For fraternities, we've got 501 members right now. That's an 11% increase from last year of those young men who accepted bids. And then there's really, I think, more of a success story with our sororities, 816 members in our sororities. And I attribute a lot of that to the new houses there on Donaghy and also on Augusta. A 19% increase from those numbers in 2014. And then if you take 213 in consideration, that's a 30% increase. So again, the Greek life is really growing as we wanted to do at the University of Central Arkansas. So the story always comes up, or the question I should say always comes up when we talk about Greek life, and maybe more so in the fraternity life. Are Greeks really like those actors in Animal House? Bob, you want to answer? And I know some of those who know me, or some of my fraternity brothers out here, are going to go, Kelly, you better not go down that road. So, I'm not. But with any large size group, to be very truthful with you, with any large size group, and we've got almost 12,000 students on our campus, okay? There are always going to be a few bad apples, all right? Boys are going to be boys. Fraternities and sororities like to have a good time from a social standpoint. We understand that. But I will tell you, in today's time, it's a far, far different world in the Greek life than it was when I was in UCA. There is a strong focus on responsibility. There's a strong focus on alcohol responsibility. There's a strong focus on risk management, on training, social event monitoring. I mean, when they have parties and things, they have to have someone come monitor those parties. So it's something that we take very, very seriously. And I will say this as well, organizations hold their members today to a point of accountability that I think is a lot stronger than when I was a student there. So yes, there are always going to be incidents where, you think, well, that's not a good reflection on the university, and it's not. But I would submit to you today, ladies and gentlemen in the audience, that there is an added value for having Greek life on the campus of the University of Central Arkansas. Most of our student leadership positions are filled from men and women that are in Greek organizations. Most all of our athletic events are attended by a student body which are comprised mostly of those in Greek organizations. And then when you look at some of the great community service that they do, I mean, we talk about food drives, walks and races for autism, for Race for the Cure, for Alzheimer's, Adopt a Highway program, mentoring for the Boys and Girls Clubs. I could go on and on and on about how our students are involved from a community standpoint. Special Olympics is another one of those. And then we talk about grade point averages. And it's pretty plain to see right there. In the Greek world, the average for GPA is 3.02. 2.84 is the UCA average for our student body. So again, I make the case that our better students come from our Greek organizations. All right, let's talk a little bit about the reason why I think that there's a pretty good step in participation from our sororities. All of you have seen these beautiful homes that are on Donaghy. There are 3 that are located on Donaghy, and then there are 2 behind those 3 houses that are located on Augusta. The total cost for these 5 homes came to be about, I think it was about $13 million for all 5 of those homes, plus the meeting room for those sororities that are comprised mostly of our African American students. So about $13 million. That's construction, architect fees, landscaping, furniture, all of those things. By the way, here's an invitation for you. If you've not seen these homes, if you've not been inside of these homes, there's an open house because we're celebrating homecoming on Saturday, and there's an open house in all five of these homes at noon on Saturday. So if you, your spouse, a guest, friend want to come see these homes, they're actually, I mean, they are something to behold. It kind of makes me want to go back to college. I mean, these are nice, folks, and they're all full. All of these sorority homes actually have 32 beds in them, so 32 young ladies are staying in those homes. And we think it's a wonderful, wonderful attraction to our campus, and these numbers will probably, quite frankly, will increase. But I think it's a wonderful addition to Donaghy Avenue, and things are to come. And TJ is working on those and, with our Donaghy project there on the corner of Donaghy and Bruce. So we're excited about what these houses do. It's just a beautiful addition to our campus. All right, like I said, we're celebrating 100 years as far as Greek life, but Sigma Tau Gamma is celebrating 100 years on the campus of University of Central Arkansas. And this is my fraternity, and in fact, it was a beautiful moment. 2 weekends ago, we attracted over 500 Sig Tau's and their guests to come back to our campus. As Tom Conway would say, and as he said that day when we met at lunch there in the Hyper Center, it's a president's dream. A president's dream to think that you would get 500 alumni to come back to your campus and stay on campus. We had a luncheon, we went to the football game. Jesse, you provided a great event there at Buffalo Hall. We had a party that night, and we're still talking about it, aren't we, David? Wonderful, wonderful event. And so because of that, I thought it would be real fitting to actually show a video again that Christina and her staff did that shows a lot about Sigma Tau Gamma, of course, and it'll kind of take you back to the beginnings of how Greek life started at UCA. So Christina, thank you.